Hi, this is Champlet 2 on the PlayStation Network. For those of you who already know my channel, you knew I'd be back for this one, right? This video will be a detailed tour of the new mansions and their upgrades and design options in the Safe House in the Hills DLC. Check the chapters in the description below to skip ahead to any specific point in the video. I may make some follow-up videos with additional details about this DLC later, so be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell for notifications. Please leave a like for the video and drop me comments or suggestions that you might have, and you can also reach me at my Discord channel at the link below. Well, that's enough chat. Let's go house hunting. I'm just going to apologize right up front for everybody who's been waiting for this video because I've been struggling all day trying to figure out how to get this into a concise video. It was going to end up being nearly 2 hours long, so I'm just redoing it. And I'm going to be maybe a little less thorough than I have been on some of my other real estate profiles, but there is so much to cover that I'm going to have to shorten this a little bit. Two important things you need to know right up front. One is you cannot buy a mansion and trade it in. So don't buy one thinking you can say, I don't like this one, I'm going to trade it in for another one. Nope, that's not how it works. If you buy one, you own it. And if you want another one, you got to buy it too. Trust me, bought 3. I've already been there. So just wanted to let you know that up front. Be very careful which one you pick because you're stuck with it. Second, how the security works. We've been testing this. My husband's been on with me. Once you step into this little blue dot that I'm about to go into, it's almost like you're in a whole separate session, and nobody can get on your property unless you invite them. And even if they do get on your property, they're not in the same session you're in, so they can't see you and you can't see them once you go inside. The other thing is walls like this, barriers like this, where you have this hedge. You can't jump things like this once you go into your property. That's sort of the barriers that keep you in your safe space, are the hedges like that and the railings that you'll see in the back. So that means nobody can bomb you, nobody can get in there and mess with you when you're on your back patio. You're in a whole new session all by yourself. Let's go in and check out Tongva really quick. And like I said, I'm just going to kind of give you the basics and a tour so you can see what it looks like on the inside. This dot is very touchy about this address. I don't know why. There we go. So now that I've entered through that gate, it asks me if I want to go to my first floor or one of my 2, yes, 2, count them 2, garage levels. We'll cover those in a few minutes. But right now I'm going to say first floor. And it actually, instead of bringing me into the house, brings me into the driveway. Now I've already transferred some cars over here. I'll show you in more detail. You get 20 car spaces, 2 of which are here in the driveway. So you can always see them outside. That's kind of neat. As for this mansion, it's the formerly Devin Weston mansion from Story Mode, so most of you have seen it. There have been some enhancements made to it for this DLC, which we'll cover. But first, I'm going to take you on a tour of the inside so you can see the layout. Now, all 3 mansions have exactly the same layout inside. So we're just going to start right here with this one. This is the Los Santos Loft design style, which is the default. It's free with the purchase of the mansion. This is what it comes with. That tint is white. That's also the default one. And the pattern that we'll see in a moment, I'll point it out to you, is also the free one. This particular style has a whole lot of concrete. Everything in here is gray and concrete and charcoal, all grays. All the trim you see, that's all concrete trim on the wall, concrete floor, lots of concrete, a little bit of marble, This first room is the art room, or the entrance. I think it's referred to as the entrance. And I'm going to show you very, very quickly. You can change if you go to Mansion Management under Customization and Decorations. This artwork here on the wall in the art room or the entrance is the only thing that costs you money to change it. You can select through these and see which one you like. Here where at the top it says 1 of 20 entrance, if you look at the bottom right, I can scroll across and see all the different places that I can either change artwork or accessories. And there's 61 to choose from. They're very similar to what you've seen in the casino. And we're going to step over here. And by the way, yes, the sliding doors work. Thank goodness. Here's the living room. Again, lots of gray. Gray couches, gray walls. You can get a cat. They are $15,000. And you can choose from a couple of different colors. And I can't see him now because he got cut off. There he is. He's black with little white boots. There's also this piano over here that you can, I've got my sound muted at the moment, so I can't hear what it's playing, but you can change the song. That's pretty neat. Okay. And that's my little cat carrier. He hangs out in there sometimes. These are the stairs that are going to go up to the roof, which we will cover shortly. But I'm going to focus on the interior right now. Once we get past the art room, here is the dining room. Very contemporary, modern, gray shadings. And a wine rack that you can't get into, but it's pretty cool for show. This is the pattern, the default pattern that I chose. And it wasn't until I'd been playing with this for hours before I finally figured out, depending on what color the tint is here on your paint, that can change the color of your pattern. So, for example, if I chose a different color tint, this would not necessarily have that lavender look to it. I can't really demonstrate all of those combinations because I'm not even sure how they work yet. It's a lot of combinations. So for the pattern, you're just going to have to try it and see what looks good with the tint. I'm sorry, I can't be more helpful with that. Let's step in here to the kitchen. It's a very bare bones kitchen. There's no appliances, nothing, just this sink and a countertop. And it's got this gray wood to it in this loft style. So the front door was over that way. We came through here, the dining room, and there's the kitchen. Here is the cigar room. You can sit down and have a smoke, but you can't interact with any of the cigars on the shelves, unfortunately. And we are getting a pretty good view right now. Most of the time it's way too reflective to see out that window, but you can see how beautiful the Tongva hills are when you get just the right light. They're gorgeous. Here in the cigar room, there's also this really cool whiskey thing that looks like a globe. That's pretty neat. And over here is your home office in your mansion. With this loft style, you've got sort of a distressed wood look on both walls. And again, the same concrete floor and sort of a stone and some kind of granite desk. All design options have that same black leather chair. And there's even a little doggy bowl over there in the corner. Now that covers the main level of this house. They did add, by the way, this door here that's kind of on the other end of the house. You can step out here. There's an elevator here that I can use to go down to the lower level and the 2 basement levels, which is really funny because the garage is not the elevator is not located here for the basement levels. It's way over the other side of the house. So that's a pretty creative elevator. We can look down here to the lower level, and I'm going to actually take you down on the stairs. Here's that pattern again. And now we are in the trophy room. You can place trophies in here through the mission management. If you go to customization and trophies, any trophies that you've earned, you can see the menu down at the bottom right. You can scroll through these and place your trophies in these cases. And over here, you can also, any plaques that you've earned, you can come here to customization and plaque management. There's 36 different plaques you can earn, and there's 8 slots to put them in on this wall. So they all look like this rock star. They just have different labels on them. When you earn them, you can place them on the wall in 8 spots. And then here is a really nice relief map of the whole game, the whole city. And you can see the green markers are your properties. That's very, very cool. I believe it has both residential and business locations. I might be wrong about the residents, but I think they're all in here. I do see the mansions I own, so I'm pretty sure it's got both. Now, over here is the optional podium. If you purchase this podium, you can place one of your cars here. It's really tricky, so when I get to the garage information about how to manage your vehicles, I'll show you how to put one in your podium. Right here next to the trophy room is a guest bedroom. So again, lots of concrete. There's the lighting. Got a concrete platform that the mattress is on. And all of these sliding doors work. You can just walk right outside, which we will in just a moment. Here we have your closet, your guest closet, which you can change clothes in, even though it's not the master. And I think, did I go out the wrong door? Nope, there's the restroom. So we've got stone on both walls there in the shower and a full restroom. Well, actually, technically, I think that's a 3/4 bath. Which way did I come out? Nope, sorry, got confused. All right, now we'll leave the guest bedroom. And oddly enough, what's right next to the guest bedroom is the optional arcade. I'm sure your guests won't care for that very much. It's noisy. This only has mostly single slots. There are just a couple of double slots. There are no wider slots where you can put something like Axe of Fury in here. So it's a little bit limited. And yes, you do have to own an arcade to be able to put them in here. But the good news is, if you already own these consoles, you don't have to pay for them to put them in here. That's free. You can go here to either manage the placement of your games, or you can also go to Pixel Emporium and buy new games if you want to. Now, when we come back out, there's the guest room and the trophy room and the podium, and this is your media room. It's a really nice screen, big screen. Don't know that I'll ever use this, but it's pretty cool to look at. And it's got the same, concrete gray and black design from the Loft style. Over here are some stairs that are going to go down to the lower level. This is the lower, I'm on the lower level. That's the basement level. We're just not quite done with this one yet. So I'm going to take you to the other side. There's where we came down the stairs, just to keep you oriented. And in here, you have an indoor pool. I bet it's heated. It's a full depth pool. You can actually swim in it. Not just a little wading pool. So you've got this really cool marble room, and you can lay down on these lounge chairs and chill out. It's nice. Now you can't walk out these windows, but you do have this sliding door right here to get out to your back patio. And just off of your indoor pool is your very own personal salon. You can come here and get your makeover done, or you can come over here and get tattoos, all right here in the comfort of your very own mansion. Now this one looks the same no matter what your style is for the house, except for the floor. The floor changes based on the style, whereas here in the pool area, this stays the same in all three styles. I'm going to say that now, but let me double check the walls. I think the walls stay the same. Oops, I always forget. There's a little half bathroom here right across from the pool area. I keep walking right past it because I just go through the pool area and right into the salon. And I keep forgetting there's a little bathroom here. So coming back down this hall, there's the salon there on the right. Now over here we have two more doors. I'm just going to show you this little hallway here. So these are some of the paintings that you can choose. And again, they're all free, but this textured art over here, that stays. Let's go in this door, and this is your master bedroom. So I really wanted to show you the views from here because it is such a cool large window, but it's so reflective that you really can't see out of it unless it's just the right kind of lighting outside. So sorry about that. But again, it's very similar to what you saw in the guest bedroom. A lot of gray, a lot of charcoal. And as we come around this way, we walk into the master bath. There's a wash area here and your actual shower and facilities in here. And a killer walk-in closet. Flowers and everything. That's the high life. Fresh flowers in your closet. So when we came into this hallway, there's two doors here. One goes straight to the closet and the other goes to the master bedroom. And again, there's the salon right there, just so you know where you are. Now we'll come around this way. And here's where we looked down from upstairs. And there's our staircase. So as I mentioned, there are stairs over there next to the media room to take you down to the basement level. I'm going to choose this elevator just to make it a little bit faster. And as I mentioned, this elevator comes out clear on the other side of the house on the basement level. That's one tricky elevator that can bend like that. Now these basement levels, both 1 and 2, are not impacted at all by the style. So I'm just going to show you these once, and when I go back and show you the other styles, I'm not going to come back down to the basement levels. Basement level 1, just like garage level 1, you'll see later, has this wood trim, and this door is to get you to garage 1. We'll come back to the garages in just a few minutes. This door has stairs going down to the lower basement level 2. We'll come back to that. This door, this takes you out to your deck where you have this little garden area. Well, it's not really a garden. Don't know why they call it that. And it popped you up a level because the basement level we were in is actually one level below this. Not sure how it does that, but it did. And here we have, oh, there's the elevator we came in. Here you have a party room. Looks a whole lot like the nightclub. You know, nice dark wood floors. And these ladies here at the bar, if you hide them, you'll have to serve yourself your own drinks. And you can do that through the AI menu. I'll show you that shortly. The same is true in the salon. If you hide those guys because you don't want to hear them talk to you when you walk in the door or for whatever reason, they won't be able to give you tattoos or makeovers if you don't show them in the menu, which I'll show you in just a minute. This is the optional armory. If you already have one of these, then the only reason to get another one is purely for convenience. But you can go to the weapon workshop and buy ammo or armor, anything you need, upgrade your weapons, buy new weapons, everything you need right here. If you've already got one of these, it's up to you if you think you need another one. That room is optional. I'll show you in another layout of one of the other houses where that doesn't exist. It's just a wall. So that's pretty much everything that's on this basement level. There's the stairs that came down from over by the media room. But now we're going to go down these stairs. Nope, that's the garden. These stairs to the basement level 2. And as I mentioned, there's the wood trim on basement level 1. This has the concrete trim, and that's exactly the same as the second level of the garage, which we're going to see in just a minute. Right here is the optional vehicle warehouse, and it's really pretty much the same as any Los Santos custom shop. It doesn't do any of the special stuff like you can do down at the race meet. But at least I don't think it does. I can't swear to that. I didn't have a chance to test that out. But I'm pretty sure it's just the same as the custom shop. And you'll see later that's just a blank wall if you don't buy that optional vehicle workshop. This is the vault that comes standard with the mansion. I don't know what purpose this serves yet. Maybe it'll come into play later with missions with Michael DeSanta. But at the very least, it's a pretty cool flex to see all of your money here with gold bars and stuff. And you can open all these gates. And no, you can't shut that vault door. That is all there is on basement level 2. Once again, this style does not change even if you buy a different style, so I'm not going to come back through the basement levels. But I did want to show you, you can also go straight to your second level garage from here. We will cover those after all of the interior styles. I'm going to use this fast travel to head over to the other mansions. Only right now just to show you I have different designs over there so you can see the interior designs and what's different about them. So here at the Vinewood residence I have the second design option, which is the San Andreas coastal design. Again, I'm going to show you a little bit more about the exterior shortly. But here's the coastal design. So now instead of all that concrete, you have a whole lot of wood, very light colored wood. You have wood floors with lots of big thick rugs and lots of wood trim. I chose the green tint so you can see, even though this pattern, when you looked at it on the website, it looked like it was gray, but it definitely changes the color of the pattern based on whatever tint you chose. So everything here is the same. I just wanted to kind of walk you through so you could see a little bit about the color differences. There's my little kitty cat stretching on the floor. So we have green couches now. Same artwork, same everything. I think that little credenza is a little bit different. The furniture's a little bit lighter too. So as we pass through here, now we're in the dining room. You can see we've got a wooden table, almost kind of a butcher block with the uneven ends. That's kind of neat. Big thick rugs. Same wine rack, but now with a wooden background instead of concrete. And same very minimalist kitchen, but now with a lighter wood cabinetry. Here's the cigar room. Very similar, just, slightly different, a little bit lighter wood. Now here in the office, you've got this wood paneling here behind your desk and across from your desk. And your desk is different now. It's a different type of stone, both on the bottom and on the top, than what we had in the default Los Santos loft style. I'm saying all this from memory. It's wearing my brain out. I've been at this for hours. Now we have this brown wood lighting instead of the glass lighting that we had in the loft style. And let's go take a look at the bedrooms. So it's really, it's just minor changes. It's either sort of a stone look in the first one or kind of a wooden look in the second one, and a very marble look in the third one, as you'll see shortly. So here in the master bedroom, I don't even think there's a whole lot of need to go into the guest bedroom because it really just looks a lot like this one. Actually, I take that back. The bathroom's a little bit different. So this is all some kind of marble. And now these are kind of a warm wood shade instead of the gray that was in the loft style. Let me run over there to the other bedroom. Here's the trophy room. So it all looks pretty much the same except for the wall trim and the color. So this bedroom, again, very similar. Let's take a look in the bathroom. Yeah, so this has some sort of kind of a marble here. And we'll also take one quick look at the media room. Now, as you noticed earlier at Tongva, I had the arcade here. This is what it looks like when you don't buy the optional arcade. And I didn't buy the optional podium for this location either. So this is what it looks like without the podium. And then here we have the media room. So again, everything's pretty much the same except for what's on the wall. And that's it for the lower level for this coastal design. Now we're going to take a look. We're going to run over to, where's my AI thing? I'm looking for one on the wall. Oh, I forgot to come over here. This is the same. The walls are the same, the floors are the same, everything's the same here in the pool. And in this case, everything's also the same here in the salon, but it is different in the final design. The floor is definitely different. And once again, in this house, just like in the first one, I walked right past this little half bathroom. But it's got the marble and the wood trim. And it's right across here from the indoor pool. So let me find one of those little AI pads. I don't see one on the wall here. Are they up? There's one. I'm going to fast travel right over to the last mansion, and then we'll start looking at garages and exteriors after that.
Leave it with me, Mommy.
So this final design style is called Vinewood Recency. I'm just going to be really honest with you. It is not my cup of tea. But I'm going to show it to you anyway, and I hope I'm not offending anybody who ends up liking it, but I will show it to you. And I'll try not to be too unpleasant about it. It's got a lot of marble, so everywhere before that we saw concrete or wood now has this sort of gold shade of marble. Now this parquet floor is kind of pretty. It's really nice. This is the lavender or purple tint, and that does change the color here of this pattern. I tried that pattern with a different color tint, and this pattern looked sort of blue, but in here it has sort of almost a mauve color to it. And you'll see a lot of this trim here that you see here on the wall. The cabinets have that. It's supposed to be, I guess, sort of rich or regal looking. Let's take a look over here in the living room. Now we have a dark green and a light green couch and some really loud mosaic on the wall here that does not seem to match anything else in the house. Not sure why. Purple rug with green couches. Somebody might be a little bit colorblind, maybe. And we'll continue back this way to the dining room. Now we have yet another different kind of flooring with two different types of marble in it. Very busy. We have the mosaic behind the wine rack. Also very busy. The table has like brass or gold legs and a granite top. And there's our pattern again. So when we come into the kitchen, yet another kind of flooring, a gray marble, and there's that trim I was talking about earlier on the cabinets. Can't believe there's no appliances. Really? And again, another kind of flooring here in the cigar room with the cabinet trim. I think I neglected to mention this one and the last one both have wood trim here in the ceilings. And back to the busier marble floor, that's just wow. That's a lot to take in. The pattern, the gold, the gray, all the mosaic. Wow. Oh, I forgot to mention here, there's also marble on the shelves in this design, which you'll see a little bit here in your office as well. There's a little marble trim here on the shelves and the cabinet trim with the, what did I call it? Parquet floor. Thank you. There it is. Now we have a very loud desk with marble on the bottom, and I think that's the onyx on top that's in the kitchen. I don't know why you would put those two together, but maybe somebody likes that. By the way, I can't ordinarily show you the views out these windows because the reflections are so bad. But here at the Richman location, when you can see out the window, that is a really neat view. You can see the observatory up there. So let's finish up this style. We'll go downstairs to the lower level where the bedrooms are. This time we'll go to the master bedroom first. Actually, I think I'll start, oh wow, there's the mosaics again. And the doors are dark. But in here they're light. The cabinets are light with a little bit of marble trim and the parquet floor. Little washroom with the marble. And shower, this looks very much like the one from the last design, except it didn't have the cabinet trim like that. And walk through here into the master. Wow, that's a busy bed. I think that might give me nightmares. Very, very, very busy. And again, this is the Vinewood Recency design, big thick rug, frosted glass lighting. Okay, let's go finish up this floor with this design. Here we have the salon, and the wood and everything is the same, but the floor is dark. In the other two, it had white marble tile. Here we have the pool area, which is exactly the same in all three, except you do have this mosaic trim here around this door. And yes, if you can believe it, I really did forget this little half bathroom all 3 design times when I was recording. There's the trim again, like the cabinets, and the pattern, and stone on that wall with the mosaic around the door. You'd think I would have remembered, but no. This is the trophy room with the parquet floor. And as I showed you earlier, you can place your trophies and stuff in here. There's the podium that I have without a car in it, but that's what it looks like, and I'll show you how to get one there. And this is the wall where the arcade would be if you had it. There's the guest bedroom with a whole lot of marble wall there. And the closet. So still just the stone in here. And finally, we'll go into the media room. Wow. So it's got the mosaic tile all over the walls in here. So again, I'm sorry if I offended anybody who likes this style. Oh, goodness gracious, the floor. 3 different kinds of floor, 2 feet apart. That's a lot. Again, sorry, not my cup of tea. I hope somebody out there does like it. Now we're back at the Tongva property, and I want to show you the exterior features. You'll see here that wherever there's like stucco on the side, it's red, very, very fire engine red. It really stands out and looks beautiful at night with the lights on it. You have this water feature here with all these stepping stones, and you can see there from the roof, you can see down to this. This driveway, you've got a car spot here and a car spot here, which we'll cover shortly. And then behind that, you have this little sort of garden area with a lot of, that looks like aloe, I think, and palm trees. So one of the changes they made to this house is you can't walk out on this roof anymore, but you can still walk down this way. So when there's not too much reflection on the glass down here in the master bedroom, this would be the view. Is that not gorgeous? Look at all those mountains. That is so pretty. The Tongva Hills are gorgeous. You can see right down to the ocean. It's so green. So my husband was saying earlier when he was looking at the 3 houses, he refers to this one as the California house because it has all this beautiful lush greenery and the ocean view and palm trees all over the property lot. So this is what we affectionately call the California house. I'll tell you about the other 2 as we get to their exteriors. So you've got the little fire pit here and a seating area. There's red trim here on the balcony where the workout area is. It does increase your strength, it says. I don't think it changes your body type, but you will get a little bit of extra strength and stamina in your stats if you work out here. Haven't really tried that myself. There's all of these flowers here, birds of paradise, very nice. Not flowers, but plants. And again, you can see right in the house as long as you are essentially in your house. You can see everything in here great. If all you do is like fly up on your oppressor, all these curtains will be closed. You won't be able to see in, and anybody else flying around won't be able to see in, and they can't interfere with the session that you're in when you're actually in your house. So you're totally safe. Here's your little doggy's house, although he's not very often in it. And you can choose different colors of the dog that you choose. You can even choose a couple of different breeds. And they're like $15,000 to buy the dog. Expensive dog, but pretty cute. Okay. And there's the garage door. Again, we're coming right back to that. So here's some more of the red trim. These stairs were not here prior to the DLC. Here's my dog. Hello, my dog. Can I give you a pet? Did I miss it? I didn't land in just the right spot. There we go. Good dog. I always go in and pet shop at the agency, so I'm glad I have my own dog now. So all three of them are a little bit different here. They all have this bar under the stairs, but this one has a fire pit here, where the Richman house has a fire pit over where my dog is, and the Vinewood house has a hot tub here. So that's what makes all three of them different on the outside. So this is all the second layer of the balcony, and you can see right into the pool. Now we're going to go down to the lower level. There's a tree over here. And if you're just visiting your house and you're not actually like inside the property, you can jump these handrails and go play in the water features, but you can't do that when you're in your house. That's kind of the barrier. You're on your property. These rails protect you from outsiders, and so I can't jump over this rail now because I'm, quote, in my house. You can lay down on these. That's pretty nice. And they also added this hot tub here to this location that they didn't have before. Now the view here is gorgeous, but it is hard to see, to really appreciate the ocean view with these shaded railings. You get this new bar that was not here before the DLC. And there's also, if you're in your house, you can play darts here. But if you're just like visiting, that won't work. And then finally, we're going to go up and take a look at the rooftop helipad. So I'm going to come up the stairs here and go into the living room. Where's the door? I've been face planting in these glass sliding doors all morning. Here are the steps up to the helipad. All three helipads are exactly alike. They have the same layout, they have the same vehicle, they have the same plants. I think they're the same plants, but they all have plants. You can do yoga here to increase your stamina and strength and swim speed temporarily, running speed temporarily. That's all here. Plus sometimes your dog or your cat will be hanging out up here. And you can leave via this helicopter, or like I showed you earlier in the AI services, you can leave through a variety of different helicopters, but you actually exit the property when you do that. So here's one last look from up here on the roof of the absolutely gorgeous ocean view and the Tongva Hills from the Tongva house. And remember these red accents because the other houses don't have those. They have their own colors. Sorry, it's a little dark outside, so some of this might be hard to see, but I've got to get this video done, so please forgive me. There's the water feature we talked about earlier. This wood trim is a little bit darker on this house than it is on the other two. Actually, I think significantly darker. And I think I did show that. The same is true. The wood trim around the front yard is the same shade as what's on the house. I think that's true on the other two as well. And then just one last look here at the back. Again, my apologies. It's a little dark at the moment here in the game. It's getting to be nighttime, and I'm sorry. I just have to get this video done. It's been taking me all day, and I know you guys are waiting. So I'll do the best I can. The wood here you can see is pretty dark around the Vinewood driveway, but look how much longer this driveway is. And by the way, if you take photos of animals, there's generally lots of bunny rabbits right outside here. But we're going to come in this entrance, and I think one of my favorite things about this house is this cutscene when you come in, seeing the Vinewood sign. That is really cool. So on the exterior, you can see this one's much lighter. It's almost kind of a beige sandy color. There's no little water feature here, but you do have this black marble there, which is pretty. And you do still have this opening here, even though there's not a water feature here. The position of the car spot here is the same. It has that same like shrubbery around it that it had at Tongva. So this looks pretty much the same. But then when you round the corner here, you can see these trees are a bit different. You've got this whole pathway here. And there's lots of rocks here, not nearly as much greenery as what we had at Tongva. And that's one of the things when my husband was talking about him earlier, I mentioned that he refers to the Tongva house as the California house because it has so much greenery and palm trees and a view of the ocean. This house at Vinewood has much, much less greenery. And when you're looking at the views, like say from here, you've got mountains over that way, but there's not a whole lot of foliage. I mean, even if you're looking at the hills here, they're a bit barren, kind of dusty, a little bit desert looking. So he refers to this as the Arizona house because it's a little more barren, not so much for the trees or the foliage. Which kind of makes sense. Even here on this lower level of the deck, I'll go back up, there's no tree here like there was on the other two. But if we come back up here to the main level of the deck, it's the exact same layout that we had at Tongva, except instead of the red, here we have just a sort of a gray patio plus the exercise mat. And when we come around here, there's also not the little part that sticks out right here because the shape is different in the backyard at Vinewood. You know, we do have the little spot for the dog that we had at Tongva, but this part is different. There was the little actually, am I saying that wrong? No, this does still jet out down here. But it's not, oh yeah, it's not nearly as long. In the other ones, they had like a fire pit out here. One of them does. And the other had the big green space. This one does not jet out as far because the shape of the back patio is different where the pool is. So here at Tongva, this was a fire pit. But they moved the hot tub here and put the fire pit out at the end of the pool for Vinewood. So, and there you can look in the house as we're walking by. And let's go down to the lower patio level. So instead of having the bar right at the bottom of the steps, the bar is now over here. And that's because the pool is oriented exactly the opposite. Rather than being lengthwise from the house, it's parallel to the house. Same pool. The whole layout is really exactly the same. It's just turned. Although the dartboard is now here, as opposed to next to the bar, it's on the side of the bar. And we have the fire pit out here. Now the view is pretty great from here, although you do have to look past all the sort of barren hills to see the city. You do get a lot of beautiful city lights from here. And you know how I love to look at Arcadius at night. There it is. You can also see the Vinewood Bowl, and the casino looks really pretty from here at night. So it's a little bit different layout, but the exact same interior, just a slightly different exterior. It also has this water feature that's going to be a little bit hard to appreciate at night. I'm so sorry. You can't climb over this gate or this rail and get to it when you're physically in your house. But if you're not, you can jump right in there and swim around in the lily pond. Last but not least, definitely not least, we are now at the Richman Villa, and you can see the driveway is super short on this one, and it has a much lighter color wood around the front yard. The front yard is also quite a bit smaller because it's, the driveway's so short. You're just really right up on the road here. So this is a little bit different than the other two. The other two had a hedge here that went around this parking spot. This one has a little bit of decor with all of these big stone ball things. And we have a nice palm tree here. But as you come around here, you will notice there are aspen trees. At least that's what I think they are. They sure look like aspen trees, which is why we have affectionately named this house as the Colorado House. And I'll show you more in just a minute why we felt that way. So there's that same light wood trim on the walls. And here, the stucco is like a charcoal. It's almost black. And there's no other highlight here. But if you see the little globes or stone ball things that are sitting here in the water, you can also see that's up to the roof. And there's three, one above each of those spheres. So if I come around the back here, this is a pretty spectacular view at night. Let me come over here by the puppy. Lots of city lights you can see everywhere from here. The whole city, beautiful Arcadius. If you look over this way, you can even get a glimpse of the pier, Del Perro Pier. It's a little hard to see the Ferris wheel just because of the distance. It gets a little foggy over there. And there's the court center up there, and these were some of my favorite houses. I was hoping one of them might become a mansion, but they didn't. There's the university. There's the Playboy Mansion. It's a really beautiful view from here at night, which is, I'm sorry I can't show you this in the daytime, but the nighttime view is pretty spectacular here. And there's looking back in the house. So there's that same wood trim that's a little bit lighter on this house than it is on the others. And here we have a blue path next to the exercise mat. Same layout here. Where's my stairs? There they are. We'll head down here. There's that lighter wood again. And here we have all these plush evergreen trees, lots of trees, lots of greenery, very Colorado-like. This water feature is amazing. I can't climb over to it, but it has each one of these pours out into the other, and it goes all the way down from the one on top to the one at the bottom. And it's so pretty how they're lit up. If you're not actually, quote, in your house, you can sort of play around in those, splash around in them. And here at Tongva, right here was a fire pit. At Vinewood, there was a hot tub. And here, the fire pit is over here. And what is really cool about this, if you're down by the hot tub looking back at the house, you get an image something like this, where you can see the fire pit sort of glowing with the house behind it. That's pretty neat. I actually like how that looks. I'll show you when we get down there. Don't have any stairs over here. So we will go down to the lower level of the patio. So like I was saying earlier, at Vinewood, this dartboard is on the side of the bar as opposed to next to the bar. And you can sit on these lawn chairs and just check out that beautiful view of the city. You can see eclipse, you can see the observatory. The Vinewood sign is a little bit obscured by the tree from here, but you can just see everywhere from here. If you want a city view, this is definitely the place to be. You can access your garages by going here to the elevator and choosing a basement level, or by walking up to the garage door from the outside. So it's kind of interesting how this one works. It's a little bit like the executive office garages, but kind of a little bit different. So here on this main basement level, I'm going to go to, is this my garage? Nope, that's the garden again. That's not the garage, this is. So here's the first level garage. And as I mentioned before, the first level has wood trim on the walls, and the other one has concrete trim. So that's how you can always tell which one you're on. Now, if you look here at the vehicle management, this one's kind of different. See how you have two cars out on your driveway? That is slot 1 and slot 2 of your 20 cars that you can hold in the mansion. Then you come into your podium, if you have one. You'll have a vehicle here. Then you come into the main first level of the garage. So since I have a car on the podium, I only have 7 spots for my cars here on the main level. And then if I switch down to the lower level, which you'll see because now there's concrete on the wall instead of wood. And yes, I have every color of convertible Sentinel there is. I just think they're pretty. This level holds 10 cars. So you do have 10 spaces on the main floor and 10 spaces on the garage, on the lower level garage floor, lower level basement. But once you've done this, if you have the car in the garage, you can move it to the podium by looking at that bottom right-hand menu there. From the garage, you can put it in the podium. There it is. So 8 hours and $42 million later, I've finally got all the footage here. Sorry, it took me a long time to get this together, but this was so complicated. I'm going to try to get this video posted just as quickly as I can. Thank you very much for watching. A like for the video and a subscription to my channel are always greatly appreciated. Please check out the link to my Discord channel and come say hi. It's right here in the description. And I want to say a big thanks to my Discord friends for their helpful suggestions for this video too. Enjoy the high life in your new mansion, and I'll see you here next time.